purpose of this short tutorial is to talk about the Form 8 disclosure of beneficial interest which is used with a buyer. Basically, this form is going to be completed by the agent if there is some kind of benefit, rebate or third-party commission that the agent or agency will receive as a result of referring the buyer to that third-party service. Some examples will include referrals to a mortgage broker, where a mortgage broker may pay a commission to the agency for that referral, or perhaps to a landlord insurance company that might pay the percentage to an agency for that referral, or any other sort of similar types of benefits that the agency receives. So it's really important to read through this document because it gives you a lot of explanation in terms of this document's use. And it is only used in the event that there is something that the agent or agency has to disclose. If you don't have anything to disclose, then you would simply complete the contract for sale of house and land, and this document would be omitted. So let's scroll through and have a look at the information that has to be put into this document. So if we scroll through to part 1, this is simply the selling agent's details. So for the purpose of the exercise, you can assume that you are the selling agent, so your name would go into where it says name in part 1. Then following on in part 2 is the property details, and this is the property that the buyer is purchasing. So we put the description, the address, suburb, lot numbers, title reference, etc., all the relevant information to the property that that buyer is going to be purchasing. Part 3 is where this selling agent is going to be disclosing what benefit, what referral, or what third-party commission are they receiving. So the name of person or entity to whom buyer is referred. Where are you referring this buyer? So if this was going to be X, Y, and Z management of, say, a finance company, you would put that finance company's name in. What is the relationship to the agent? So in this case, it just might be a professional relationship. Then benefit derived by selling agent is how much is the agent getting as a result of this referral, and benefit to whom entity or whom buyer is referred. If that's a particular person that you're dealing with, you would specify that information further. Now, important to note is reading this section at 3.1 says notice to selling agent. You must complete this section if you have referred the buyer to anyone for professional services associated with the sale, and you have any relationship, personal or commercial, with that personal entity to whom you have referred the buyer, and or you derive or expect to derive any consideration, whether monetary or otherwise, from that personal entity to whom you have referred the buyer. So this section is where you would put in those referral details. And it says only complete this section if the benefit is from a referred entity. So to further explain this, when we're getting paid our commission from the seller, that is not a third-party commission or fee. That is a fee for service that the seller pays to the agency directly, and so the commission is not detailed in this document. 3.2 is benefits other than by referral. So if this is going to be some other type of benefit and not a referral, this is the area that you would put the information in. What is the payment type, the entity that's receiving the payment, and how much is it? So in most of the cases that we're dealing with, it is 3.1 that we enter the information into for the benefits and referrals and third-party commissions. So further, 3.2 says, notice to selling agent. You must disclose the amount, value or nature of any benefit to your knowledge other than that which is already disclosed in section 3.1, which any person has received, receives or expects to receive in connection with the sale for promoting the sale, for providing a service in connection with the sale of the property. If you are a property developer, then Part 4 is something you would complete. If you're not a property developer and you are a real estate agent, then this section will be omitted. And Part 5 is the selling agent's disclosure declaration. So this is the area that you would put your name and signature. For the purpose of the exercise, simply typing your name will be sufficient. And finally, Part 6 is the buyer's acknowledgement. And this is where the buyers will put their names to acknowledge that they have been informed of the disclosure about the benefit or referral. So once again, typing the name of the relevant parties is what's going to be important in submitting this assessment task. Hopefully that clarifies for you what is required for this assessment task. You will need to refer to your information sheet and work out what it is that you would need to use this form for to disclose.